Hello, everyone, and thank you all for joining us. The views, opinions, and technical analysis presented during this webinar are those of Stepan Company and are not necessarily those of UL. The appearance of this content on UL sites does not constitute an endorsement by UL or its affiliates. Today's webinar is Mastering Modern Hair Care, Formulate for the Trends That Matter, Part 2, and it's presented by Stepan. Your presenters today are Cyril Bhattacharya, Senior Research Chemist, Giovanna Bellini, Senior Researcher, and Renata Batikis, Global Marketing Manager for Personal Care. My name is Derek Brecher with UL, and I'll be moderating today's webinar. Please send your questions by typing them in the question box located in the bottom of your screen. We are recording today's event, and we'll send you a link by email when it's been posted to ulprospector.com. Now I'd like to hand it over to Renata. Are you ready to begin?
Yes, thank you very much, Derek. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is very exciting to have you all today to talk about our part 2 of our Mastering Modern Hair Care series focused on conditioners. Before we dive into the world of conditioners, did you miss part 1, where we talked about all things shampoo? Don't worry, we have the recording and all the resources that we talked about in July, and the link has popped up on your screen at the bottom left. You can click that link, it will open up in a new window and review all of the content and the recording of that webinar on shampoos. For a quick agenda today, we are going to first dive into the global hair care market dynamics, the specific trends, the growth in the launches, all around conditioners. Then we'll go into the popular conditioner claims that we see on the bottles in the store, online. What are the different claims that are being used within conditioner space? And then third, we're going to break down the strategies for aligning those product development needs with consumer needs. At the end of the day, they have the wishes that they have connected to the claims. So how do we connect our innovation, our product development with those specific requests? At the end of this webinar, we hope that you come away with these 3 objectives: the key market insights, science-backed substantiation from Stepan and the ingredients and the testing we will showcase that Giovanna and Cyril will talk about in the second section of our webinar, and leave you with feeling empowered within your formulation development within conditioners. With that, we'll explore first the world of modern hair care. Before we dive into conditioners, I want to look at the broad global sales of beauty and personal care as a category. For hair care, within all those different segments, it's a silver medalist. It's on the podium, the second spot within all those different areas. From a retail value RSP perspective, it's just shy of that $98 billion in US dollars in comparison to about 170 for skincare. Skincare is still the top spot. And then you see all the different categories across beauty and personal care. The green line shows you the current year growth within 2025. Hair care is seeing a nice steady growth of about 5.3% and is a good rate in comparison to the other categories within beauty and personal care. Areas like fragrances and dermocosmetics are seeing a surge as well. Now that we have a snapshot of the hair care segment, how about the different areas within that area, within hair care? Another silver medalist for today, if we look at hair care broadly, conditioners and treatments are second. They have a value of about $22 billion globally when it comes to that retail value RSP. They're second to shampoos, the category that we discussed in part 1, at about $35 billion. And then you see the different segments as well. Again, in the green line, we can see that current year growth. Both shampoos and conditioners and treatments have a really great growth, about 5.4%. Salon Professional, you can see, has the highest growth rate within this hair care category. You'll see conditioners and treatments within that subsection as well. So all of that is super applicable. And therefore, why we're excited to talk about conditioners and the development of these products as they become more and more popular with consumers. Having looked at some of the numbers, let's talk about the key trends that we see within hair care as a broad category. We really see that shift to a new era around smart and personal. The first trend that we'll talk about is skinification, something that we've seen not only in hair care, but also in body wash and shower products. It's that concept of adopting skincare ingredients that we expect in those types of products into hair care. Think about hyaluronic acid, some of the ceramides that we see in conditioners today, to apply to the claims that consumers are looking for. That gets into our second trend, personalization and efficacy. Consumers are wanting tailored solutions with data backed claims. We don't just want to add in the skincare ingredients into a formula and have that claim be associated with it. It's about having a fully robust formulation that is to your specific hair type and can really see the substantiation to moisturizing or to hydrating so that consumers come back to these products all the time. And then, third, connecting premiumization. It's that willingness to invest in hair health and self care. We have wellness as a broad category for consumers today. And even in macroeconomic times, we'll see consumers purchasing that higher level of a conditioner and maybe using it a bit less, but still investing overall in hair health and that self care. And those are the overall trends within hair care space. So let's get into conditioners. Overall, we see conditioners growing across various types. If we look globally at the number of launches from Mintel by year, we can see that different regions are seeing that acceleration of growth across from 2020 all the way to 2024. Europe has the largest category on the left with the most launches and the different types, followed by Latin America. And then you have high growth rate over the past 5 years from Asia Pacific, and North America and the Middle East and Africa are growing even faster at 20%. So we see this prevalence, this need to do more with our conditioners. Conditioners is a unique space. You have different segments and different types that we can formulate as well. On the right, you'll see a breakdown of the market share value between rinse off conditioners, the ones we typically will use in the shower, and then leave in and deep treatments that are completely differently formulated. Rinse off is the highest by share at about 60%, but you can see that leave in and deep treatment from a growth perspective are expected to grow faster at about 8 and 6%. This matches Mintel research as well that states 55% of salon professionals report increased demand for those leave ins over the rinse off category. So, depending on the different space you're looking to formulate for your product, it's important to understand how the formulation will differ because we can be very unique and specific for conditioner products. Now that we've talked about a little bit more of conditioners, we want to get your participation today. Derek, if you can help me out by pulling up a pop up, that'll show up at the front of your screen. How many new conditioner launches are you all working on this year? Are you adding in that 1 to 2 area? Is it 3 to 5? Is it more than five? There's a lot of conditioner products that you're working on today. Or right now, there's none right now, and you're working on something else. Take a second, cast your vote. We'll see what kind of most area we've got with our attendees today. We'll give it one more second. All right. Thank you so much for responding. Looks like majority of our category is in that 1 to 2 conditioner launches for this year, which is fantastic. Thank you all for participating. We will move on to the claims. Overall, we see hair care consumers demanding more from their conditioners. If we look at a survey response from Mintel based off of subcategory, we're looking at both shampoo in purple and conditioner in blue. We want more of those claims that we expect in shampoos, but way more in conditioners. So if we look at things like moisturizing, hydrating, repairs damage, fights frizz, increases shine, heat protection, there's an increase in that expectation of the benefits consumers seek when it comes to conditioners. Makes sense it's that second step in the rinse off and treatment cycle, but we want to see more of the claims. We expect more from those conditioners. So when we go to formulate those products, we know that substantiation is crucial in getting those types of claims on the front of the bottle so that consumers experience each of these different needs as they use our products. Knowing that consumers are demanding more from the conditioners, it really challenges us as formulators for crafting the conditioners that satisfy all of the wishes around that wheel that we have in terms of claims. These are a few examples of the top claims we see in the conditioner space. You'll see some uh, similarities between shampoos, but there's differentiation that we know and see with conditioners. So, similar ones from shampoo include repairs damage, moisturizing, for sensitive skin. We want more of that in our conditioners. And then on top of it, specifically with conditioners, things like silky afterfeel, detangling, a very common connection to conditioners, heat protection, and also designed for my hair type. Different conditioners can be formulated to that specificity. So we have that challenge to look at all the different options and make sure our formulas match the ones that we're picking. We know that we're launching different conditioners. There are many in the market. We want to hear from you. Here's our second poll question that'll pop up on your screen. Pick your top one. What is the most challenging conditioner claim that you are formulating for today or anticipate to be formulating for? Is it moisturizing, anti-frizz, fights damage, detangling, heat protection? It's none of the above, it's something else. Let us know in the submission of the poll question. We'll give it a few seconds for everyone to put in their responses. Thank you all for your participation. The results are coming in. It looks like our top most challenging conditioner claim is fights damage, followed by heat protection. Really interesting. We're going to talk about both of those claims later on in this webinar as well. So thank you very much for your participation in the poll. Now that we've seen how many different types of claims there are in conditioners, we want to showcase that at Stepan, we are here to help transform your conditioner game and really connect the formulation techniques to that substantiation. It all starts with the consumer. As we saw, trends are changing. Different claims are truly crucial to making sure the conditioners are efficacious. So if we start with the claim, and we need to take a second to go in the middle. What does the formulator need? We need to be able to connect that claim to the substantiated ingredient. So, as product developers, what is that test, that methodology, the data that we need to see? And at Stepan, we then connect that substantiated ingredient so that you have the full picture from a finished claim perspective. So, for example, if we look at something like Fights Frizz, that was a top claim that we talked about already. In the middle, the formulator wants to see frizz and flyaway of the hair tress reduction. We need to see that data both visually but also quantitatively so that we know which type of ingredient to pick. At Stepan, we're able to take all those different options and pinpoint exactly which ingredient will get you to that finished claim. So we've got there's different polymers, silicones, all different types of options in the industry. For example, cationic surfactants, very well known to help with fighting that frizz. And this is the space that we're going to showcase and the format that you'll see moving forward as we jump into the different sections moving on. At this point, I'm going to hand it off to Giovanna to talk about our first set of claims within conditioners. Giovanna?
Thank you, Renata, for our introduction. So, hi everyone. My name is Giovanna Bellini, and now I will talking about how we could formulate with cationic surfactants, obtaining heat protection, moisturizing, and detangling benefit. So, first of all, to have a complete and potential product, we have three different topics to talking about. So to call consumers' attention, it's necessary to bring different claims and performances to product. For example, for treatment product for the hair, is attractive if you have heat protection benefit, a power moisturizing, and a tangling effect. For this, during product development, the formulator needs to take care during the selection of ingredients for formula. In the case of a treatment product for the hair, if the ingredients promote a resistance of the fibers, avoiding the hair breakage, with a potential of moisture retention and provide a good compatibility, it's a differential. So the chemical industries needs to develop new molecules and technologies to offer all these benefits for the customers. Stepan Company has a complete portfolio with proof ingredients to assist your necessities. Focus on hair care needs. Stepan presents the Stepan Quad Soleil, an innovative cationic surfactant that brings superior performances than CTC and BTAC, the common alternatives on the market. So let's talk a little bit more about this material. So the Stepan Quad Soleil is an ester quat with sunflower seed oil glycerides with pale amber viscous liquid appearance, easily to work with, being 100% of active matter and part of the regulatory condition. This material is GMO-free and 88% bio-based, being readily biodegradable. For not containing solvent, there is no restriction of use, being a mild and hypoallergenic product, and natural, safety, and efficient alternative to your product. But what kind of benefit I will have using this material? So it's possible to formulate with Stepan Quetzalcoatl against damaged hair. The graphic on the left side, for example, analyzed the difference of height of broken hair after passing 20 times flat ironed at 230 Celsius degree and vigorously combed 50 times using a fine tooth comb, an extremely condition to observe the damage on the hair. When using Stepan Soleil, demonstrated 84% lower hair breakage in comparison to BTAC, providing better heat protection. The same thing we can observe in the picture on the right side, demonstrating visually the less hair loss compared to industrial conditioner benchmark, being an excellent alternative to reduce the hair breakage. Furthermore, Stepan Soleil can support different claims concerning to hydration and smoothness. The graph on the left side demonstrated results using Stepan Soleil in comparison to BTAC. After treating the hair tresses, it was placed in 60 Celsius degree oven and hide then after viewing times intervals to observe the quantity of water content maintaining on the hair fiber. The percentage of water loss using Stepan Soleil is 24% lower than BTAC, demonstrating a significantly outperformance in reducing moisture loss, even at low level, resulting in a noticeable softer strengths. On the left side, by scanning electron microscopy, it is possible to notice integrity of hair fiber after treatment with Stepan Soleil. This translates to smooth, glossy, and healthy hair. And to complete all of benefit mentioned, it is an excellent alternative to any hair type, promoting a superior compatibility performance on hair type. For example, when C, the straight hair with a little bit wavy, 2A, the wavy hair, and 3A, the curly hair, by Andre Walker hair typing system, as possible to observe on the graph. In the first case, the first column is just the hair tress treated with shampoo without any conditioner application. The second column is concerned to blank condition, so a conditioner without cationic surfactant. In this case, the benchmarks are BTAC and CTAC. This analysis was realized with wet hair tresses, considering 2% of active matter of cationic surfactant. In comparison to all hair types and all application, the treatment that demonstrated lower peak load, that is, the quantity of force exerted to combing the hair tresses, was using Stepan Soleil, Therefore, Stepan Quad Soleil is an excellent alternative to any hair types, promoting superior compatibility than benchmark. So now I will present to you all a video showing the texture and the procedure of manipulation of Stepan Quad Soleil by reproducing a conditioner formulation base. Derek, could you please play the video? So in this part, it's possible to observe the viscosity of Stepan Quad Soleil when add the FAD alcohol to solubilize before the emulsification. Once all ingredients are fully solubilized, the oil phase will be added to the water phase, and in this part of the video, it's possible to observe the differential of Stepan Quad Soleil on emulsion formulation. Stepan Quad Soleil can easily thinken formulation, resulting in a smoothing and shiny texture for your product. Excellent opportunity to explore textures, formats, sensorial, being better for your hair and planet. Thank you, Derek. So, in conclusion, it's a versatile material opening space to be creative with neutrality and efficacy, supporting the consumers and formulator needs. Thank you all. Cyril, feel free.
Thanks, Giovanna. So everything that we talked about, it's a great starting point for hair conditioning. But what if we have to add additional pieces to our formula? Because of course, it's always going to be demanded of us as we start to develop a product. There are going to be things like additional detangling, volume control, and silky afterfeel. But what does that mean, right? We're going to bring to the table some additional combability data, kind of like what Giovanna was talking about, some volume reduction attributes, and then some slip and spreadability that can help you in your formulation needs. Now, what do we have in the industry that do the same kind of functions? There's cyclopentasiloxane and acrylates copolymer, but we also have a silicone-free microplastics cognizant solution to that, making sure that it's going to be a little bit more eco-friendly in Stepan Mild L3. Let's get familiar with this new tool that we're going to have in addition to Stepan Quad Soleil that was talked about in the previous section. The inky name, laurolactolactate. It's a clear liquid that's 100% active, so it's very easy to add to your formula. Has a natural silicone feel alternative. It's nice and soft, and it has a really nice afterfeel. It's 100% bio-based, and it's also biodegradable. In addition to that, it's easy to formulate, and it's a clean ingredients list. Now, what is it? Essentially, it's lactate, which is corn-based. And then it's also going to be a lauryl alcohol, which is going to be palm and coconut dry. Combining both of those, you can see on the right side of the screen, we get our laurolactolactate. Now, what does this do, right? Well, it helps boost wet and dry combing manageability. So taking the information that Giovanna presented to us with the Soleil, as we start to compare the addition of Stepan Mild L3 to the commercial benchmark, as well as the Soleil benchmark that we had in the previous section, you can see that there is added benefit for wet and dry combing. The added benefit when we deal with the Stepan Quad Soleil based conditioner is around 34% reduction in that gram force of that wet and dry combing, and then a 73% reduction in that gram force as you start to comb for wet and dry conditions. Moving on to the right side of the screen, you can see that the hair tresses, after testing, they still look great. But then there's one additional thing that we can kind of notice going from the commercial to the Stepan Quad Soleil benchmark, and then the Stepan Mild L3 added material. There's going to be a decrease in volume. To substantiate this, what we did is we started to use the Basanova Bolero in order to quantify this reduction in volume. And you can see from the commercial benchmark and with the Stepan Quad Soleil benchmark that the addition of Stepan Mild L3 decreases that volume. Now, what does that do? It allows you to have that fine tuning that you need in addition to Stepan Quad Soleil for all your formulation needs. On the right side of the screen, it's another quantitative way to kind of determine how much of that volume has been reduced. Comparing that to the commercial benchmark, it allows you that dynamic range to decrease the amount of volume as needed while still getting that added conditioning benefit. This is great for all different types of textured hair as you go from something that's going to be relatively straight to something that's going to be a little bit more coily, right? It's going to be very diverse. It's going to allow you to pivot for all your formulation. Now, moving on to other attributes that benefit us as formulators. It's going to be that leave on after feel, which is always going to be important, right? We don't want anything that's going to be too greasy or too sticky, especially as we start to apply it to the hair. But we also want it to be moldable, right? We want it to have a slip to kind of go through the hair to make it easier to kind of comb, fluid and spreadable. So then you can move it throughout your hair as it starts to apply to your scalp and your hair follicles. And you can see that on the right side of the screen. All those added benefits, which we've tested out using a panel. In addition to that, we got to take the rinse off feel of that as well. And compared to our control, you can see that the addition of Step and Mild L3 really helps in terms of tightness, softness, and moisturization, all claims that Renata was outlining at the beginning part of this presentation. So you can see that Step and Mild L3 adds a lot of things in addition to Step and Quad Soleil as you start to develop hair conditioners. Now, there's going to be one additional benefit that Step and Mild L3 can bring to the table. And with that, I'm going to ask Derek to kind of bring up the video and let me talk through what that last part is. Viscosity. It's always something that we're going to be fighting to maintain and actually attribute to our formulations. On the left side, you can see formula without Step and Mild L3, and on the right side with Step and Mild L3, you can see that adding to the formula actually brings some viscosity to your formulation, making sure that it maintains that luxurious feel and flow characteristics to your formula. Thank you, Derek. Now, let's sum up everything, right? A lot of times you're going to have additional detangling substantiation, volume control, and a soft after feel. We've shown that through additional combability data with wet and dry combing. We've shown that there's additional volume reduction when you're using Step and Mild L3, in addition to using it inside of a Step and Quad Soleil conditioning base. And then we've also modified the slip and spreadability using Step and Mild L3 in order to make sure that it applies and it moves around your hair in order to get the full function of the conditioning agent as well as other attributes. This is going to be great. Always remember when you're looking for something that's going to be silicone free and does not have any concerns about microplastics, Step and Mild L3 is going to be a great choice in addition to the conditioning agents like Step and Quad Soleil. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Renata.
Thank you, Cyril. Fantastic. Well, I hope after looking at both sections from Giovanna and Cyril, you all are inspired to go into the conditioner success of formulating. As we wrap up our webinar, want to bring back that doesn't matter whether you're developing novel formulations, something brand new, or refining a formula that you already have in your portfolio. Stepan is here to support you in all those different hair claim needs. We went through a number of these in the consumer wheel of wishes. There are many others that also are prevalent in the market. If you're looking for something specific, we're here to talk about those details and suggest different types of ingredients to those types of claims as well. Both Giovanna and Cyril talked about specific ingredients within different types of conditioners that were tested. What about the full formula? If you're looking for that instant inspiration, finished bottle, don't have to wait. Our website has many different formula breakdowns and samples of those different claims. So whether you're looking for a moisturizing conditioner or maybe a deep conditioning mask, we have all the details on that formula down to stability, different properties, and how to produce those to help kickstart your project or give you that different type of idea that you're looking for. You can find that on our website within the Formulation Finder application. In terms of resources, we have a lot of information on conditioners that will be rolling out here, including different guides, different decision trees depending on different applications, and claim data as well. If you'd like to hear about those different resources, get notified, you've got a link at the bottom of your left screen to join our newsletter and get all of that information live with links to those different pieces. So be sure to sign up for all of the conditioner information that you'll see here shortly. If you're looking for that personalized expert help, both Giovanna, Cyril, other chemists around the world at Stepan are here to be your partners for that hands-on support. We can connect you with those folks that are specific to your area, to your region and need for that personalized demonstration or formulation troubleshooting. You can do that by reaching out to your local sales representative or contacting us through the link here on the screen at go.stepan.com/conditioners, and we'll get you that information super quick. With that, want to thank you all for attending. Again, if you need that personalized support, we'll leave that link up here on behalf of myself, Giovanna, and Cyril. We're very grateful to have you today during our webinar. At this point, I'll turn it over to Derek for Q&A.
Perfect. And just as a reminder to the audience, you can submit your questions in the bottom right-hand corner in that questions tab, and we'll get through as many of these as we can. Giovanna, I believe I have the first question here for you. Beyond improving compatibility in curly hair types, what additional functional benefits does Stepan Soleil offer in terms of fiber manageability, frizz control, and curl definition under rinse off and leave-in conditions?
Oh, yeah, thank you, Derek. Yeah, sure. Stepan Soleil is an excellent choice for curly hair care because helps in control frizz without compromising hair volume and enhance curl definition without leaving a stiff or hardener feel. So these benefits are noticeable even in rinse-off formulations. And if you're interested in learning more about this material or new analysis, feel free to contact us. We have an extensive study supporting this client and would be happy to share any additional data.
And Cyril, this next one here is for you. In a previous slide, you show that that one of the source materials of Stepan Mild L3 is corn. Does that mean L3 is not GMO free?
Yes, it's not GMO free. However, we do have mass balance alternatives. So if you're looking for different types of claims, still talk to us. We'll figure out a way to kind of address those or bring the information to the table to kind of figure out where you're at.
And Giovanna, given the conditioning potential and substantivity of Stepan Soleil on hair fibers, is there any concern regarding product buildup over successive wash cycles?
No, no. Stepan Soleil delivers effective substantivity conditioning with high substantivity, but without causing any build-up effect over successive wash cycles. We have a video on our YouTube channel demonstrating the through a test using a Rubin modified dye. So this dye is attracted to cationic charges. So if the hair retains cationic charge residue after multiple washes, the tress will turn Rubin colored. If not, the hair returns to the original color, confirming the absence of buildup. So in this case, I invite you to explore our channel and access this material because it's very interesting.
And Cyril, the viscosity using Stepan Mild L3 looks nice. Are you able to make a system with L3 as a primary thickener?
Not exactly. So no, it's going to be in addition to, so maybe something more of a co-surfactant or tertiary. So it's going to be a value added surfactant as opposed to a primary.
And then Giovanna, Soleil breakage on the Soleil breakage slide, was it leave in or rinse off product slash test procedure?
Okay, was analyzed with a rinse off product, a conditioner base.
And then Renata, this next one here's for you. Um, is it possible to provide sample delivery through the distributor for product testing purposes?
Yes, you can go to our website to request samples directly. We will follow up after this webinar with a link to that specifically, but samples are easily ordered on our website for either of the ingredients or other ones that you see when it comes to conditioner. So we're happy to support those requests and we'll follow up directly as well.
And then Renata, this next one again is for you. Would you please talk about any 100% natural origin materials?
Yeah, so Cyril talked about Stepan Mild L3, and that is 100% bio-based. At Stepan, when we talk about bio-based material, we're talking about biorenewable carbon index. That is our BCI calculation, and the specific materials that come into the molecule from carbon. So Stepan Mild L3 is an excellent choice if you're looking for that 100% natural origin within conditioners. And as Cyril showed, you have different attributes within that that will get you to the claims that you need. So utilize that one for the high naturality types of formulas that we know consumers are looking for.
And then Cyril, in the data shown for Step and Mild L3 for volume reduction, are these conditioners leave in or rinse out?
Let me unmute real fast. That's going to be a rinse out.
And Cyril, another one. Are any of these feasible to add in with hair color?
Yeah, you should be able to add those in with hair color, kind of like what Giovanna was talking about before. There's a lot of different ways that we can start to add in and maintain hair color at the same time. Definitely.
And then Renata, this one here is for you. I'm a small brand formulator. Will Stepan provide help to me as well?
Absolutely. Whether you're large, medium, or small size is not something we're looking at. So please do reach out for support. You can go to that specific site again at go.stepan.com/conditioners, and we will be in contact with the folks internally who are happy to support you both from R&D and sales perspective. So don't hesitate to ask us for that help.
Perfect. Well, I believe that that is all the time that we have for questions. Thank you again for attending today's webinar. And just as a reminder, we will send you a link to the recording of today's webinar so you can watch it at any time and share it with others at your company. A representative from Stepan will reach out to you in regards to your questions. You will now be redirected to Stepan's website for more information. Thank you again for attending, and we hope you have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.